Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another Culture Minute. We got some good topics for you this week. I'm Gentel, Sharrie.
I'm Sarina, Renee, the one-stop shop.
And I'm your boy, King Jaquel Martin, award-winning director and actor.
So we don't have really good news about our first topic. It's about the Kansas Chief Parade. Gunshots broke out in the crowd as everybody was celebrating. There were kids around, there were, adults around. Everybody was having a good time until altercation happened that left about 22 people shot and one person dead, who was a mother of two. And it's just really sad because when you go to these things, you think you're gonna have fun. You think it's gonna be the time of your life. Like your city, your state, like your city just won. Like they just won the Super Bowl, and then now it's a whole tragedy. So my condolences goes out to the families who were a victim in the situation. And I heard some of the people who were involved in the shooting were juveniles.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly, it's sad. It's sad that we can't come together as human beings and just enjoy a time. My question is, though, really about the shooting is, how did the juveniles even get the weapons? What was actually going through the juveniles programming to even want to go outside and do something like that? I think sometimes we look at the incidents and we forget about the root of the problem and what initiated it in the beginning. May everybody's family, rest in power and love. Very much so. It's just a sad day, to be honest. And it just didn't even happen in Kansas City. It happened in our town. They were celebrating watching the Super Bowl at third base. I don't think anyone passed away, but I believe allegedly 3 people got hit, after the celebration. Someone snuck a gun in, someone got hit on the inside, and then when everyone scattered, 2 more people got hit. So, this is something that's happening all around America, and the violence definitely needs to stop.
yeah, and just a little add that in real quick. After the Super Bowl in LA, I was supposed to go to third base. And my friends were like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "No, I don't really want to go. I'm just going to go home." So I'm glad I didn't go because I probably would have been caught up in that whole mess. So
Yeah, I watched every playoff game at third base. I just happened to go to Vegas, for the Super Bowl. And then I got a call from my friends because I did have a friend that was attended. And I got the call, and then I seen third base was all taped up with the police, by the police and everything. It was yellow taped after the incident. And it's just like, wow, I feel bad for those people who go there. I feel bad for the employees and the staff. And it's just sad that we just can't come together and just celebrate, win, lose. Like, what I heard was it was over a bet, that it was over who won the Super Bowl, those different type of things, allegedly. And it's just sad, whether it's win or lose, it's just a game. It's just a game at the end of the day, and the game isn't worth someone's life.
Absolutely. Again, my condolences to those that lost their lives and those have been injured at the celebration. That was extremely sad. From what I read, I think it was like 6 kids that got injured. Maybe what 6 of them? Well, 6 got injured. Maybe 4 of them got shot or something of that nature. And just to be in a facility that's like family oriented, for you to take that fun away, that's it's heartbreaking. And as King said, how did these juveniles get guns anyway? We've been trying to enforce gun laws for years and nothing has ever changed. And I know you can get guns off the black market and everything, but at the end of the day, it starts with the manufacturers. It starts with the gun stores. It starts with the gun shows. For one, it's for protection. It's not to go out and just kill people just to kill people. And to your point, King, I think the reason why, just trying to get in the minds of the teenagers that did this, you have these games to where all you're doing is shooting people all day. So now you step into reality and it's like, okay, let's put this stuff into action. Their mind is not developed. At the end of the day, that can be a reason. Another reason can be, oh, I want to be this game banger. I want to get initiated into this game and I have to shoot XYZ people in order to get in this game. We don't know what happened, but at the end of the day, we need gun laws. We need some type of structure. Even when it comes to the black market, like I don't know what stipulations, I don't know what type of programs that we can have to where we can have game bangers. They did this before, I think it was in California, where game bangers actually turned in some of their guns to show peace. So maybe we can initiate that again, because I remember when that happened, the crime did go down at that time. We just need some type of, strict gun laws, stipulations, how you can get guns and things like that. There's no way that a person can be 18 years old, get a gun at a store, but you can't work in a strip club, or you can't buy liquor, or you can't do this, and you can't work certain jobs because you have to be 21. Like we really have to do better as a government, and as parents as well. So make sure you know where your kids are at all times. Check their backpacks, check their cell phones. And it's not invasion of privacy. When we were younger, we didn't need to have privacy. We couldn't even close our doors. And these kids nowadays, they have more freedom to do a lot of things and pretty much live their own life without the parents' guidance. And I think if parents step up more too, we won't have this problem. Back then, we got whoopings for every little thing. If we got a referral in school, our neighbors whooped out behind, our mama whooped out behind, and then our grandma whooped out behind, and we turned out fine. Nowadays, if you whoop a kid, you go into prison or you go into jail for child abuse. But I think we need to bring back those, not saying that you got to beat the kid, but some type of discipline needs to take place.
I think you hit 2 points really on the head, especially when you talk about, first of all, parenting. I think parenting goes a long way, because when you have the absence of love, you'll feel that with anything. And that's why people do turn to gangs, and they do turn to other things, whatever that addiction becomes. When you don't have love, you'll feel that sunken place with whatever you think love is. And that mirage of love can make you go outside and do something foolish. Is that because now you're feeling like you're proving yourself for the love that you're possibly not getting at home. And then I do also believe that it's systemic, coming down from the government, where parents aren't able to be at home, because a lot of times nowadays parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs, so they can't be at home raising the kids. They're not even there for the discipline. And when it comes to the generational gap, well, we are the fruit that bared from the tree. So we can't be mad at the fruit. We got to start looking at the tree and the branches that it's fallen from. And we do have to get back to parenting. We do have to get back to structure, but it's very hard when systematically prices have went up. Some people aren't in 2-parent homes. And when you are in a 2-parent home, you're working all day long where you don't get a chance to be there. So I think that we really have to go back. If we can evolve in every other place, why can't we evolve when it comes to the rules? Why can't we evolve when it comes to the structure of, the Constitution and the system that we're in? If we really want, and if all lives really matter, why not go back to the drawing board to create circumstances and different laws for it to apply to all lives, so that way we all can continue to grow together?
Because all lives don't matter.
We know.
And it's like, somebody gave an analogy of when, somebody said, well, all lives matter. And somebody made the statement of, if there's a house that's burning in a neighborhood, and, all 3 houses are burning, right? So you go to one house and you see that, it's a Mexican family. The other house is a white family. The other house is a Black family. Who are they going to be more inclined to save even more? You understand? So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, yeah, we want to have all lives matter, because the Constitution says one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. But all does not apply to all, because we don't.
Right.
Asian Americans wasn't getting it. They passed a law for them to be protected. And I know this kind of off topic, but when it comes to Black America, it's always they're hiding their face in the mud.
Yeah.
You feel? And that's the part that we also need to continue, not only just to rally and to protest. We need to, actually go to these governments and press them just like the other cultures do, so we can get our reparation, so we can get equal justice, and get a law passed for us, stop Asian hate, stop Black hate, something that's been going on that we've been asking for years. So
I think a comedian made a joke about it. Like, let's say we're married, right? And you're like, well, I love you. Your wife is like, I love you. Well, she said, don't you love me? He was like, well, baby, I love everyone. You can't go back to your significant other, you know what I mean, and say that you love everyone, because she wants to know if you specifically love her. And if your response is, well, I love all God's creatures. What's the difference? Well, it has to be a difference. And that's why we say, Black Lives Matter, because there's a difference. You just can't say I love everyone because you don't love everyone the same.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think that, back to the topic, we just need better gun laws. We need better parenting in America.
Yeah.
And we need better communication when it comes to booking people. So this next topic is Chris Brown was supposed to be a part of the NBA All-Star game. NBA All-Star Weekend just happened in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Lucas Oil Stadium. Chris Brown said he received an invite from the NBA, and he basically went to Instagram and said, I was asked by the NBA to play in the All-Star game this year. He took screenshots, he posted it, and they basically reneged on him. He was supposed to be on Lil Wayne's team. He saw his jersey, all this kind of stuff. And then the NBA basically said it wasn't our decisions. It was our sponsors, Ruffles, because of, the whole domestic violence thing that he's went with Rihanna a few years, maybe more than a few years back. But Ruffles came and said to everybody and said, Ruffles sponsored last night's NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. However, we did not have any involvement nor visibility to any players' decisions or celebrity invite discussions. So basically they're saying they're not the ones who said Chris Brown couldn't be in it. And they even commented on the Shade Room saying, wasn't us, we found out about the same time y'all did. So Chris Brown's basically like, y'all not about to play with me because I have my receipts. So who is it really telling me that I couldn't be a part of the game? And I know everybody has their own views on, well, I mean, look what he did in the past. And then some people are like, how many more times can we punish him? I'm an advocate for domestic violence. I don't think domestic violence is right. I've personally experienced within my family home, so I don't really tolerate it. But I just feel like the whole thing is don't communicate something if you guys are going to take it back. I just don't like that. Just don't communicate. If you want him to be a part of it, have him be a part of it, but don't renege at the end of the day.
Yeah. So to your point, they knew what they was doing. Somebody in the organization, whether it was NBA or whether it was Ruffles, was like, oh, Chris is being a hot commodity right now. Let's put him on the team. And then a couple people was like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all remember what he did to Rihanna? Rihanna is in the blogs with her ASAP and their new family. So that's going to actually bring some tension. So I think that was a conversation that was had, and then they pulled the plug, to be honest with you. Now, as far as domestic violence, I am a huge advocate for that as well. I've been through it. I was in a 5-year marriage. So my thing is, and I don't care if people take this the wrong way. This is just my experience. Once an abuser, always an abuser. They just switch different victims. You understand? So I know Chris Brown is trying to get from that stigma or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't want to say nothing that's too, but at the end of the day, I think I still need to go to therapy, because I just feel like if somebody abused somebody else, they're going to do it again. And I know that's not the case. I know Chris is trying to live his life outside the whole Rihanna thing or whatever. But, from my personal experiences, I just can't forgive him for what he did. And that's just me being 100% honest. People may say I still need to heal, probably so, but it is what it is. And I would have been in the room saying, hey, no, that's not a good business plan. So
I think before the email was sent, that discussion should have been had. That way you don't put yourself in this conundrum. Because one moment you're saying yes. And it's not like this is Chris's first All-Star game or his first time participating. So why now? Yes, we have the story of Rihanna and ASAP. Which one's going to be the biggest return on investment? And which one can hurt the money? Oh, well, that situation is probably going to hurt the money, because the same way Sarina just spoke up about her feelings, if it's going to be a return on investment and it's not going to be a good look for the company, we're going to go ahead and cut that. Now, my whole issue is, why isn't someone taking the responsibility for the situation? If you're going to stand for domestic violence, or if you're going to stand against that abuse, which should never happen, then stand 10 toes down on this is how we feel. The same way Sarina just said how she feels, well, stand in your truth. Don't hide behind, well, I don't think it was us. Well, it wasn't the NBA. Well, it wasn't Ruffles. Well, then who was it then? Someone needs to be able to stand 10 toes on business about how they feel. And you're not wrong for how you feel. Do I believe people could change? Yeah, we have different viewpoints on that, me and Sarina, but that's okay because I can still respect why she feels, because her experience and her traumas and the things that she's been through in life is something totally different than me. So who am I to judge her experience and how she felt while she went through her situation? Even though men also go through the same situations and it's not talked about, right? Because men don't want to be viewed a certain way. I've been in those situations, right? In a domestic violent relationship as well with myself, right? But at the same time, I choose, and this is my own emotional intelligence, I choose to see and hope and pray that people can grow and learn. But at the same time, I'm not stupid and I'm not going to act like you aren't who you were until you show a difference, until there's consistency, until that, you know what, God, all right, then I'm able to let that go. So I respect where my sister's coming from in that. I just wish the NBA or Ruffles would stand on business when it comes to domestic violence and say, hey, this is what we did and this is why. Because I believe more people who go through that would appreciate someone at that level supporting and standing for domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, you know, when you said that the NBA and Ruffles should have stood on business, you have to realize these big box corporations, they're not going to do that. Even in NFL, you know, you have players that's knocking their girlfriend's head off and knocking their wife head off, and the wife or girlfriend go to the NFLPA or whatever. I don't know if it changed between the time I had my situation till now, but it pretty much was like, okay, so let me give him a slap on the wrist. Are you okay? Okay, well, just go on about your business. It was nothing done. It was never, you know, holding the boys accountable. It was never, you know, let me try to get him some help, or let me try to get you guys some help. You know, it was basically telling them what to do in order to get out of, you know, getting arrested, or how to get your girlfriend or wife arrested because you are a player. You know, I'm just speaking all this stuff that a lot of people don't want to say against the NFL, but I've experienced it differently. So I know exactly how it is in major leagues or whatever, in big box corporations. They don't want to talk about it because they feel like, oh, it's a stigma of, you know, well, my company might be looked at a certain type of way. No, your company will be looked at as you have, what's the word I'm looking for? Your company will be looked at as, you know, you don't play those type of games. You don't tolerate domestic violence. You don't tolerate, you know, whether it's against the man or the woman, you tolerate equal rights for everybody. That's what it shows. But a lot of them don't want to do that. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. And that's why Ruffles and NBA, yeah, the money too. That's why Ruffles and the NBA is going back and forth, trying to make it seem like now one of them said anything, which we know all well, it was one of them, because Chris wouldn't have never said anything, period.
Yeah, and he has the receipts to prove it. They should have just stood on business, like our girl Kelly Rowland stood on her business.
Yeah.
Kelly on the Today Show, she was supposed to co-host, which is phenomenal. But when she got there, her dressing room was not up to par. J-Lo was also in the building because she was doing her segment as well. And I guess this is just what I heard. J-Lo had, you know, a better dressing room than Kelly. And Kelly was just like, you know, I ain't about to do this. Like, y'all not about to do me like that. So she walked out, and like, Kelly is really non-confrontational. You don't hear too much about Kelly in the media blogs being negative or anything like that. So I feel like there was something underlining that happened at that studio that we just don't know what took place. And they're painting Kelly like, oh, you know, she's too good, all this kind of stuff. But hey, she Kelly Rowland.
That part.
Kelly Rowland, and like, no shade to the Today Show, she's like bigger than the Today Show. Like, she's helping them out. Like, no shade. I mean, I wouldn't mind being on the Today Show, but I'm just saying, like, Kelly is Kelly. She a household name. But she can do what she wants to. So I feel her. I mean, I know she got her new movie out on Netflix. Tyler Perry, that's coming, I think, like the 27th or something. So congrats to that. But hey, yeah, she stood on business.
Yeah. So first and foremost, let me just say this. They booked both Kelly and J-Lo at the same time. They gave J-Lo the bigger room or whatever, but J-Lo was only there as a guest. Kelly was there as a co-host. So why didn't you give Kelly the bigger room or whatever? Why didn't you give J-Lo the room that you gave Kelly? Number one. Number two, everybody is not finna just know anything. I don't care if it was Kelly Rowland or me. If I come into a dressing room and that junk ain't up to par, nigga, I'm walking off the freaking set. Period. Because why did you try me like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't like junk. Why y'all like me?
Because she said,
like
oh, nothing. Let me tell you.
I'm dead behind serious. Like, I feel like if you're inviting me to your home, which on set, that's your home, and it's not up to par, you got roaches, you got ants, you got freaking Doritos in the corner. Like, you think I'm finna just sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm on the Today Show? No. I need your maintenance to come in here and fix this up in 10 minutes. And if it's not fixed up in 10 minutes, I'm walking my ass up off the stage. Period. And I feel like Kelly did what she had to do, and I respect that.
Yeah, I will say real quick, a lot of people are saying the Today Show's dressing rooms aren't really that fabulous. But if you had a dressing room that was, and she was the main person, a co-host instead of a guest, the co-host should have got that dressing room.
Right. I mean, because Today Show, I was on the Today Show before, right? When Megyn Kelly was there before she got kicked off for saying something racist. I went to her show or whatever. And a lot of times you got to think about those buildings are very old in New York. So it do need renovations. But my thing is, you have the money to renovate these things, and you have high class people that comes in every single day to be a part of your show. And the least that you can do for them is to make them feel welcome, to make everything clean, acceptable. They got the money, and they tried with Kelly, and Kelly said, no, I'm the wrong one. To the left, to the left, to the left.
Finally, stood on their principles. And the fact that she stood on her principles, they're going to try to throw shade. Who cares about the shade? You stood on grounds and your principles. Unlike the NBA and Ruffles, who did not stand on their principles. And we wonder why the cycle continues. Well, as actors, co-hosts, directors, whatever we are as well, when we're moving up in the entertainment industry, how would we ever get the standard that we want if we don't stand on our principles? If we are always bending over, then we're going to be back to the color purple situation where we're not getting our worth. Well, we will never get our worth if we don't start standing on our principles. And there's an old saying that all money ain't good money. So just because a door opens up, that doesn't mean you should drop your principles, your boundaries, and take whatever is given to you. Because if you do, then what are you saying for the future generation that comes after you? I'm going to treat you however you allow me to treat you. And until you start standing up for yourself to make a difference and it affects my pockets, nothing will change. Well, the day that we all start having a standard and the day we are all able to stand on business like Kelly did in this situation, that's when we'll start getting the changes we want to see. But in order to get change, you got to be willing to pay the price. You got to be willing to have shade. You got to be willing for people to talk about you. You got to be willing not to take the money. There's so many things that come with change. And the question is, are you willing to pay the price to get what you want?
Mm.
Yeah. And with Kelly's household name, everybody loves her. So this ain't about to really mess up nothing for her, in my opinion.
It ain't going to block her blessings. Not at all.
Absolutely. And I just want to say congratulations to Rita Ora, because she ended up getting the spot, and that was something she was looking for. So sometimes, there's a blessing in disguise or whatever. And outside of, the room situation, Rita was able to, go on set, do her thing, and she was grateful for that. But my thing is, at the end of the day, make sure when you invite somebody to your house, to your set, to your production, make sure everything is up to par and up to standard.
Yes.
Because that's a reflection on you.
Amen. And with that said, we are going to take a quick break and give a shout to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. And we are back from commercial break. We are going to get into some relationship topics, some love topics, emotional availability. When it comes to emotional availability for me, I feel like in order to be in a relationship and to get to that state, everybody needs to be emotional available or it won't all the way work out. You are going to have some barriers where it's going to be tension. People aren't going to understand each other. And you just have to be having an open mind and I feel like willing to compromise when it comes to like those key factors of relationships. What do you guys think about the whole like emotional availability thing?
Go ahead, King.
I will say a lot of times people aren't emotional available because they ain't healed. They ain't did the due process from an old situation, or they didn't come from it in their family. They don't know what it looks like. They've never seen a healthy relationship. So a lot of times we carry old problems into new situations and wonder why we're not so trustworthy. And sometimes from a male's perspective, it's very hard for us to be emotional available when our whole life we were told not to really have emotions. We were told not to cry. We were told not to do this. We were told not to do that. Because if we do, we're soft, right? Or when you are emotionally available with your woman, sometimes when you get into heated conversations, those become tools used against you. And you get called out your name or those situations get brought up. So you're like, I'll never do that again. You know what I mean? So it's sometimes you're not emotionally available because you're protecting yourself from something that you think could happen. But, you know, your past will become your future if you're always in the past. So anytime I do like this motivational speaking thing that I love doing, I always use this formula, which is emotional intelligence equals life divided by you. And it's like, well, King, what does that mean? Well, we are all given emotions, right? That's your superpower. But have you ever been done wrong, got treated bad, and became emotional? So when you're being emotional, the difference between having emotions and being emotional is your emotional intelligence, right? And in life, you're going to go through good situations and bad situations, and you're the common denominator of your life. I don't care who the numerator is, whatever the person's name is. If you haven't healed or if you haven't changed your own views and worked on yourself, the different names are going to change. You're still going to face the same situations, a different devil with a different face, right? So until you find the emotional availability, until you find your emotional healing for yourself, you'll create your own heaven and hell based off of how you choose to perceive things based off your past.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's so funny because I was talking to this guy or whatever, and we had so much chemistry. It was just insane. So I think after maybe like month 3 or 4, he came to me and he was like, "You're making me an emotional person. I'm not like that." And he kind of, you know, pulled back a little bit. And I was just like, "What?" But I understood because he never had somebody treat him the way that I did. And I opened a level of his heart that he didn't know, the difference between a toxic relationship and a healthy relationship. And so, when he backed away a little bit, that caused me to back away as well and kind of put me in my shell like, dang, okay, I did everything right. But then I had to respect the fact that he was man enough to even tell me that. So sometimes it's like people, like King said, it's not that, people are emotionally unavailable because of they just want to. It's only because things that they've been through before, toxic relationships, never seen a healthy household, never seen, effective communication when it comes to friendships, business, and things like that. So you take all those things and it's like when somebody actually implements the right way to do stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, what is this feeling? I like it, but I'm scared,
Right.
And a lot of times people just don't know how to navigate through that. So as far as me being emotional unavailable, I was extremely emotionally unavailable when I was, coming out of my divorce or whatever, only because of what I've been through. When every dude that tried to talk to me, I was extremely mean to them or whatever. So much so I had to call them and apologize a year later because I realized it was my past that affected my future. You understand? And it's crazy because, relationship PTSD is something that's extremely important that we need to talk about. We don't talk about that in America, but it's a real thing, and it causes people not to love like they supposed to love, or be so cautious to where, you know, you're never going to be with nobody because you think everything is going to be, you know, like your previous situation. And it's not like that. So having emotional unavailability is something that we definitely need to talk about. And we need to talk about it at a younger age, because some of these people, even us, we was in relationships when we were teenagers, right? We didn't know what was going on. You know, we didn't know outside of what our elders told us, as far as the men, oh, you need to sow your wild oats, have all these girls. But you don't know that having all these girls, you're breaking their heart, you're causing emotional distress, you're causing trust issues, you're causing all these things. And then when you get older and you try to do the same thing and you can't really find somebody, and a woman, you're like, dang, what's going on? I was the man back then. That stuff don't even apply, because what was told to you at a young age was just something that, you know, society tell you to do, but it wasn't beneficial for what your future holds for you. You know, now you want to be in a marriage, you want to have a family, but you can't have those things because you're emotionally unavailable based on your past, what you've learned, and what society has taught us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head for sure, for sure. So you got emotional availability, and you know it's the month of February, so we also have Valentine's Day. And I know King was talking about, you know, did people go all out for Valentine's Day? Me personally, I've never had a legit Valentine's Day, so I always do nothing. My mom has always been my like Valentine, so you know that's about it. She give me little chocolates and stuff, but so I don't really know about the whole Valentine's Day experience. But you know, King, I'll let you speak on what you do for Valentine's Day.
Well, so I played a trick on my girl, right? I said, if I go all out on Valentine's Day, I give you the world, but I don't do nothing else for the other 364 days. How important was Valentine's Day? Would you still be happy with me? Would you still appreciate me? And then she was like, what? What do you mean you ain't gonna do nothing else for the rest of it? I said, I did it on Valentine's Day, right? I got you everything. So I'm good. She was like, nah, it ain't gonna work like that. I said, so why is this day so important? Why do you need me to have someone tell you I love you? If I love you, I should want to do that on my own. I shouldn't do it just because it's Valentine's Day. I should do it consistently throughout the year. The little things to show you this or whatever else. Don't get me wrong. Did I get her something on Valentine's Day? Yes, because we still have different ideologies. So I want to respect her viewpoint and how she feels. Because a lot of times we can get so caught up in our viewpoints, but our viewpoints aren't universal, that we don't take the time to see how our partner appreciates or sees something differently because they grew up differently. But in that conversation, it opened up a dope dialogue so we could have the conversation that we're having right now. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I don't think that people check in their relationships. You know, hey, how I'm doing this week? How we doing? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to get off your chest? Did I miss the mark or something? Did we do bad in communication? Or what can we improve on? Or hey, let's implement some goals for the future. What are we actually aiming for? What is our vision board? Where are we going in this relationship? You know what I mean? Or this is where I believe we should be doing. And a dude, if he's supposed to be the leader, lay out some different plans and some blueprints so that way everyone can be in alignment on where they're going or whatever else. So Valentine's Day, we just talked about some different goals, some different vision boards, some things that we wanted. We both worked or whatever else, but we didn't actually celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day, but yet we're still going to do a little Valentine's Day celebration. We just don't need it to be that day.
But y'all are still together. Okay. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I said that is because I saw something on social media where it was like, I'm gonna break up with my dude because he told me to wait till Friday. So I was like, and then people was like, well, the reason why he told you to wait for Friday is because you're the side chick, and saying all this negative stuff. And then you had some people saying, well, the reason why he asked to wait for Friday is because maybe he didn't get paid until Friday. But then some people was like, well, if he didn't get paid to Friday, he had all year to plan. You know, it was just this big old thing. But the fact that, you know, you guys were still together on the day, you know, that's, you know, it's cool. But as far as me for Valentine's Day, it was interesting. It was very interesting.
It was interesting. Now it was interesting.
It was because, okay. Don't laugh. Okay, so it was interesting for me because the person that I wanted to be my Valentine had a lot of stuff to do with production, right? Which I understood. Then I was like, okay, so I really want to do something on Valentine's Day. So somebody else asked me, you know, what am I doing? Another guy. And I was like, well, nothing or whatever. So he wanted to take me out. So then I asked the person that I really wanted to be with on Valentine's Day, friend, to ask him, like, what is he really doing or whatever. That's when I found out about, production and stuff. So it was kind of interesting because I didn't go with the other guy because my tunnel vision is on this other dude, right? And so I just went to sleep. I slept my loneliness off that day.
Did you guys end up doing anything like, the next day, or just kind of like that was it?
I mean, yeah and no. So we end up going to some event. When was that? Saturday. So we did spend a little bit of time, but yeah, it was an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I would have been like, "Let this nigga," and then whatever. But it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that. I like this person, and I get it. Sometimes you have to work, and that's why I kind of brought up that meme that I've seen, because people do have to work, and sometimes you have to be understanding to certain things to a certain extent or whatever. But yeah,
I'm gonna start some ish. Let me start some ish. Let me start some ish. No, let me start some ish.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah.
Why I got to buy your love?
Wait, hold on. Before you go into that, King, let me just say my spill because it's gonna go perfect to your little comeback real quick. Okay, I'm gonna say something off of you, Sarina. On Valentine's Day, if I had a Valentine's, I low-key wouldn't have been able to do anything because I had like work and then I had like these auditions that were due. So I was like, well, dang, if I would have had a Valentine, like it would have low-key waited till like the next day. So I definitely feel that on that tip. On King's tip.
Wait, on my Valentine's Day, I was on set all day. I didn't see my ladies for about an hour on Valentine's Day. You know what I mean?
But I'm about to talk about something else real quick.
Okay,
so,
get it.
You said if I'm showing you basically 364 days out the year that I, like you, I love you, I want you, like you my baby, why do I need to do something on the 365 day, which will drop on Valentine's Day, to show you my affection? That's nice that you show affection all year round. That's nice. But on Valentine's Day, you just make it extra, extra special because that's really the day of love. You should still do something because people really look forward to that. I look forward to it every year, even though I don't ever have no Valentine. But I look forward to it because I'm like, maybe I will. Maybe it'll pop up in like 2 days. Maybe, I'll meet the love of my life, but it just never happens. But I do think that Valentine's Day is special. And like for a girl, it's like, my man did something for me for Valentine's Day. Like, it's cute. You should always do something for your girl. But like Valentine's Day is just very special. So I understand why do I have to buy your love? But that's just life. That's just how the world spins.
Hey, look, I'm just
No. No, it's not about buying somebody love, first and foremost.
True, it's not about that, yeah.
It's not really about buying somebody love. So I'm like your mom, Gentel. I give my daughter a Valentine's every single year. That's just how I am. Like, she's in Atlanta, been there for almost 30 days now. And I made it my point to have DoorDash send her some balloons, the candy, the bear, to just show. And she was surprised because she was like, I didn't know you was going to do this. It's just a token of love for that day. Now, King, just as you give something, your love to somebody for the whole year, that's cool. But this particular day is not just for women, it's also for men. So just as much as you show your love for her on this particular day and vice versa, it's just a token of love. It's not I'm buying my love because I did all this for XYZ. That's what you're supposed to do in a relationship. I'm not talking about Valentine's Day. You're supposed to show your love and appreciation for somebody. You're supposed to give them your heart all year and then some, on both fronts, the male and the female. So I don't even know, are you talking about something buying your love? Because she's supposed to be doing stuff for you too.
It's like a mutual. Like it's supposed to be mutual.
I got my Valentine's Day because I ain't acting like she ain't do nothing for me. I'm just saying, y'all be acting like it's a prepaid card where I got to put some extra minutes of love because I got to buy.
Okay, so my thing is, Valentine's Day is a lover's day. It's for the
Valentine's
man.
Day every day.
It is every day. But on this day, it's a special.
It's the bonus. It's the bonus. It's your bonus.
Right. Just like you got what is it when Jesus rose from the dead? Easter. You got Easter where we celebrate Jesus. You have Halloween. I don't celebrate.
Look at the comment section that you was reading and all the comments. If the person didn't get, I'm breaking up because you ain't get me nothing.
Those are bonehead people.
Yeah.
He must not love you. You must be the side chick if he ain't get you something.
Okay, it's not like
I'm trolling.
It's not like get me nothing. It's just like if you're my lover and we're on Valentine's Day, I am expecting like some type of flower, some type of acknowledgement. I'm not asking you to buy me a car. I'm not asking you to get a hotel with a bunch of flowers and stuff. But I am asking for the acknowledgement. And if I'm talking to you and you don't acknowledge me on Valentine's Day, you are cut off. Point blank, like period. If you are my man, like you're cut off on Valentine's Day. If you acknowledge Valentine's Day and I'm your Valentine, you're cut off.
I'm saying one day. All it takes is 364 days of goodness and one day.
I am the side piece. If you don't acknowledge me on Valentine's Day, I am your side piece.
That is terrible. That is programming.
Because you shouldn't be afraid to express your love on Valentine's Day to the person who you love.
That is programming to think that you have to be the side piece. Who lied to y'all? Who hurt y'all?
Well, I can name a few.
No, please don't.
I'm just saying, it's just a feeling. We as women are emotional creatures. Y'all already know that.
Yeah.
So honestly, if nothing happens on that day, we do feel a certain type of way. You understand? Are we understanding? Once you get to a certain age and you mature, yes, we know you have to work. You have to be on set. We know you have to, be a writer for this production or whatever. We understand that. But at least acknowledge. I don't care if you send me an emoji and say, Happy Valentine's Day. I really love you.
So if I do this for 364 days out there, emoji, love you, showing you my love. We got great communication. We problem solve together on Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm cut off.
Yeah. We're going to have a talk. We're going to have a talk and just be like,
I don't know about that one, Gentel. That's kind of like harsh.
Do off your 364 days out the year, but I would have to just figure out like what I just feel like you would be kind of just challenging the whole Valentine's Day. It's like you're being like a rebel to it. It's just kind of like, just show me that you don't even have to buy me. Just spend some time with me on Valentine's Day. It don't even have to be that serious. Like,
girl, I've been with you 364 days. Give me a break.
But on Valentine's Day, put the day after.
Well, let me say it like this. You have 48 hours to get it right. Depending on circumstances. But at least acknowledge on that day. I don't understand. We don't understand how men think in reference to this day, and y'all don't understand how women think, on this day. But at the end of the day, we are emotional creatures. We understand the whole 365 days of the year. We get that. We get it. We love you guys for that. We're reciprocating. We're going to get you something for Valentine's Day just as well as you get us something for Valentine's Day.
So I'm starting to mess again. So y'all would rather have the dude that come through, drop you off Valentine's Day and treat you dirty for the rest of the year than somebody who actually love you 364 days?
I think that's amazing to be loved 365 days. I would love to be loved every single day, but on Valentine's Day, just make it a little bit.
Okay. I'm playing. I'm sorry.
Because people who are loved 365 days out the year, you don't see that consistency. So that's amazing that you can provide that for your woman. But on Valentine's Day,
let me tell you something. It's a couple. You over there laughing? It's a couple that's been married for almost 50 years on social media.
Yeah.
She goes by bad girl Riri, and this man every Valentine's Day, and I see what he do for her the whole year. Valentine's Day, he also make it special.
Yeah.
They've been married for almost 50 years.
So
why?
There's a thing going around where there was a couple that was married for a long, long time, and their preacher said, "Hey, what is your secret?"
Shut up, King. Did you see that, Gentel?
He what he was doing when he wanted to put this topic out.
No, wait. I did say I still understand how she felt, so I did my part for my lady on Valentine's Day. I'm just asking some questions because sometimes in the comment section it get mad savage. You feel me?
Well, I agree with the people in the comment section.
I agree to a certain extent, only because we know how this entertainment industry is. You understand?
But yeah, I'm saying yes. If my person is like actually has like a job and stuff, I'm completely understandable. But if they're not doing nothing on Valentine's Day and they're just going about their day just like freely, you know, and I'm not like included in it, and we're like something, that's a different story. But if they're like working, you know, because I had to work, so like I understand. But if you're not like working and you're just kind of just lollygagging, I'm not your Valentine, I think that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm done, y'all. I ain't gonna troll them. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, since he's done, we're gonna move to the next topic. So, man, this Young Thug trial, all this stuff going on is just crazy. So, Nicole Fegan, who represents one of the YSL members, basically was just arrested on gang-related charges. She knew about a crime that happened. She told her person that she was defending to basically get rid of the evidence, and she was arrested on those charges. I mean, it just seems like a power episode at this point. It's a lot going on. The whole attorney just got arrested. Like, Young Thug is still in jail. They releasing calls with Mariah the Scientist. Like, what else is about to come about? Like, this point, just have a mistrial. It just seems like very messy. They don't have it together, and it's just new stuff leaking every single day.
First of all, why did she call a person and tell him to get rid of the firearm, like, or the evidence? Like, why would you do that? You've been in this game for so long. You know the repercussions. You know, my thing is a lot of people in her position does this, but she only got caught because this is a hot case. And she should have been smart enough to know they're doing, you know, they're looking through a fine tooth comb with this case. You know, so that's her stupidity, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. She knew better.
Yeah.
And she's a rising star. They called her a rising star when it came to criminal defense. So it's not like she doesn't know the ins and outs. I'm gonna go like it sounds like a scandal or how to get away with murder type of situation, you know. But if she was wrong and she got caught, she should do the time. But I do know from my experience in court that everybody worked together.
Mm-hmm.
The judge, the attorneys, and sometimes if you're not willing to play ball and make the judgment go the way they want to, things go that way as well. I do know that for a fact, just based off my own experience when I went through my police case when I was wrongfully assaulted by the police. And you're thinking like, okay, the justice system. And then once you really start understanding the justice system, it's a dirty game. And decisions can be persuaded either way, depending on what they want. So sometimes it ain't just about justice. Or if it is about justice, whose justice? Whose situation? Which way are they trying to sway people or whatever else, right? So I'm not going to act like, you know, what she did was right. Of course it was wrong if that's exactly what she did. But at the same time, when has the justice system ever just told the truth about everything? And their wrongdoings and what they've done wrong and how they've persuaded jurors or trials or anything else to go the way they wanted it to go. So I'm kind of neutral. I just want to sit back and watch it all play out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and they have been bringing up like some receipts of her old pictures, old videos of her basically not doing like gang stuff, but you know, like holding stacks of money, like money spelled out in letters, and she's posing beside it, or you know, just saying like different things. Like one thing, she had like stacks of money spelled out broke, and she's like sitting on the floor like And
Well,
one, we might pull up this picture while we're talking about it. So pull.
Sarina, there go my whole argument out the window. Overruled.
No, for real. I'm gonna send it to y'all
What?
after this. Yeah, like she got receipts where it might not really help her. It might not really help her.
Her Instagram done told on her.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. You in a position of that magnitude and you're doing some teenage stuff like that. Like, what is wrong with people? They let social media get to their head so much for clout. You want to just post anything, knowing that you're on this trial, you're on this high profile situation, and you're gonna post a mess like that. And who said she was a rising star? Did they say that after or before she did this stuff?
It's in the news article. It's in the journal saying that she was a rising star in criminal defense. Here, I'll bring it up.
But she posting stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say one video, don't quote these exact words, but it was under the lines that she said in the video, don't do nothing if you're not ready to get arrested. You know, basically like, I don't know, she was just saying something that definitely was hypocritical to what she just did.
Woo, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, our girl Beyonce breaking the internet again. This ain't Texas. Woo! Yo, she said, "Oh, it's Super Bowl, but I'm dropping my country music. I'm dropping it right now."
Usher,
and Usher. Yeah, Usher did his thing too. We might talk at the end though, Keith. But yeah, she released her. She had two songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. And 16 Carriages is just so like beautiful, the way she did the melody and everything. But there was some controversy because there was a country radio station that, they play their country music every day. They don't play like hip hop, R&B on their radio, straight country. So one of their listeners called in and was like, can you play Beyonce's new song? And they were like, we don't play that type of music, basically on the station. So everybody was in an uproar like, oh, they're basically putting, Beyonce on the back burner, not trying to like play her new country songs. But they came out with a statement and said that they didn't realize Beyonce dropped a new country song because they're a smaller station. They're in a small town. And, they thought Beyonce just does like, R&B, her music, how she be doing her artistry. So, I mean, at first I was like, dang, I can't believe they did that. They trying to block our girl. But then with the statement, it could be really true. They really honestly probably didn't know, like, honestly. But yeah, they playing it now though. They playing her song now. This ain't Texas.
Hold them. Anyway, so that's why I wore my little brand, my little puffy, the honor of our Beyonce segment. First and foremost, I've, watched Beyonce grow up, ever since me and my god sister was in middle school or whatever, like grow up in the industry is what I mean. And just to see her dominate everything and also to meet and talk to both her and Jay-Z at the Grammys, it gave me a different perspective on who Beyonce is as a person. It's some things that I saw at the Grammys that I shared with you guys that I'm not going to share on the internet, but that made me feel, just see like more of a personal side, emotional side of her and things like that. So I do think that this whole switching over to country music is kind of like a petty move to a certain extent, because if you look at her commercial that she did for Super Bowl, it was like, did I break the internet yet? Did I break the internet yet? Did I break the internet yet? And she did that on purpose. I know she did that on purpose because, you have another artist, I'm not going to name them because they already got a lot of clout through the Super Bowl, which took some of the, the visuals of the actual game. And I feel like this particular person was so hyped up at the Super Bowl, it didn't highlight the actual game and the people and the athletes and things like that. So anyways, I think that's another reason why Beyonce went ahead and did the commercial, because she knew she was going to break the internet because she is that girl. I also feel like, Beyonce switched over, not only because of her, but to show people, I am diverse. I have a level of diversity. I can do this and do that. And I still should have Artist of the Year. I have the most Grammys and still haven't got Artist of the Year. So let me show you. I'm gonna take my little stuff over here. I was born and raised from Texas. I was born and raised on country music anyway. Let me show you guys what I can do on this side. And if I don't get this Grammy for art album of the year, we already know what's popping. She definitely finna dominate every industry when it comes to music. It was a guy, I forgot his name. I call him Jim Cryer. Jim Cryer was Jim Crying on these people's internet, talking about some, oh, I think that Beyonce is just trying to mock her territory like a dog. Like, first of all, don't you ever put a dog and Beyonce in the same category or the same breath, sir. Number one. Number two, this is the same man that worked from not only Tyler Perry, but Oprah too. So you saying this about a Black woman in America on social media? Come on now. Like, for him to say something like that, that just know that, you know, Beyonce is a threat in all aspects of music. And I am super excited for her. She just, her mom and her daughters just did a cover of Essence magazine with her hair care line. Beyonce is that girl. Let's just say it. And I'm proud of her.
She is.
Internet is definitely doing her thing. I'm not at the strategic marketing move. Some things is just business, and B is handling her business. So if you're going to highlight this person, the whole Super Bowl, you didn't even highlight the players, but every time she took a drink, every time she was swagging and surfing, every time she did anything, they showed her. Okay. She just won Artist of the Year. Okay. So guess what I'm going to do? And other people got, were collateral damage. It wasn't even about you. It was bigger than you, but now you feel some type of way. Sorry, my boy. Love you. You feel some type of way, but it probably wasn't even about you, fam. It was probably about that battle of not winning. And then you have Jay-Z's speech. So let's look at the timeline a little bit. Ain't won, but she got the most Grammys. Jay-Z gets up and makes a speech about it. They're still highlighting Miss Swiftie and Travis Kelce on their relationship the whole Super Bowl. Even though you did do the 15 minutes, that's never done before. Congratulations. That's amazing. Shout out to you, big bro. Love that for you. But we're talking about Artist of the Year. So if we're going to continue highlighting the Swifties, which is nothing wrong with that, I'm going to make sure that I'm highlighted. So as Jay-Z did his speech, she's talked about. Now she dropped her album after the Super Bowl, she's still talked about. Now the fact that they're hating on her, you know, doing country music, she's talked about. She's still being talked about no matter what you do. And the more you hate, the more you're actually blessing her to position her to be album of the year. I'm glad that you brought up Texas. And we also missed this point. We do know Black people started country music, right? So it ain't like she ain't within her roots of something that we created. We're the whole wave of that. Yes. So for people to get things twisted to make it seem like we're not the narrative of who started the swag of country music, why shouldn't she be able to? If she's talented enough to cross over and she's talented enough to go ahead and do it the right way, guess what? What if she wins our Artist of the Year with a country album?
Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. And a lot of people don't realize, maybe they have, maybe they are or not. I don't know. But Beyonce is bringing people together. You have Black people doing a line dance. You have white people doing a line dance just for this music. You understand?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
She definitely breaking necks for sure. She breaking necks, and she been breaking necks. I mean, Beyonce's career is like no other, and I'm just like grateful that I was able to watch her since I was a little kid to now, just like her whole career, because she is one of a kind, a top performer. She can outperform anybody. I feel like her stage presence is just like phenomenal. And then like you see her wear a cowboy hat at the Grammys, and I don't think people understood at that time, why is Beyonce wearing a cowboy hat? It's like she hiding, but no, this album is for this country album that she's releasing. Her songs, like it definitely went hand in hand. So
yeah, but Beyonce been wearing cowboy hats. Even back with Destiny Child.
Renaissance, she did, but she hasn't, I don't think she's worn a cowboy hat at an actual like event, like you get what I'm saying? Like a Grammy event. Like we've seen them on her album covers, but like I don't think anybody's seen her like how she was at the Grammys.
So you don't remember back when Destiny Child, she used to wear hats, cowboy hats all the time.
Yeah, but like recently it just kind of was like, why is Beyonce wearing a, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
maybe we just catching up to the grand master plan. Maybe we just catching up. It's been in motion. We just catching up.
Yeah. It was just, I just think usually when I see Beyonce at award shows, her wardrobe is a little bit different. So when I saw the cowboy hat, I was like, even though she's from Texas and, she had the Renaissance album, the cowboy, I just never seen her at like, a big award show and she was like dressed like a cowgirl.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Y'all go kill me. So I was playing a joke because I like the joke, right? Me and my girl, we went to an amusement park. And before every ride, I would yell out, Taylor Swift's better than Beyonce. Swifties forever, right? And everybody was like, what? They would look crazy, right? Obviously, it was a joke. And everybody was like, there's no way. But it is nice to see a little bit of controversy between these two icons, to have a nice story. But we already know what time it is. Come on, stop playing. Nobody's messing with the Beehive. Like, not even, like, she's so close to Michael. And that's hard to say because Mike had people in other countries, my Michael. And they falling out just saying his name. That's how big B is. And now that she's crossing over in the country, what you gonna do now? Taylor, you gonna cross over to rap?
Yeah, she does that. I think no.
Taylor, you got bars.
So something I don't agree with what you said, Ting.
Yeah.
You said two icons.
Yeah. You don't think, I mean, from their perspective, people think Taylor's an icon from their perspective. She might not be from ours, but from that side of the field, they believe that.
I will say that, yes. I know you disagree, but I do think people think Taylor Swift is an icon. I mean,
she's at the Super Bowl. They keep showing her at the Super Bowl. They're not doing that for everybody. So from their perspective,
I don't see it. I just see a regular chick, basic chick that has a lot of money, that has a good PR team, that got with an NFL player that like Black women, that's trying to, change the trajectory of what's going on with the Super Bowl. I really don't see her as an icon. Like, what iconic things have she done? If you can name me 3 iconic things Taylor Swift done, I'll understand.
Who? Me?
You?
I'm not a Swift either, but I grew up in the era of like Taylor Swift too. So I've seen her moments. Yes, it's a lot of controversy with her, but she does make good music. I definitely will pick Beyonce any day over Taylor Swift, but I mean, Taylor has, she been out here though. I mean, her tour was, she made a lot of money off her tour. A lot of people went, but I mean, I'm not gonna like knock her.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
Let's go play.
But I'm just saying, like,
I had to Google it.
That was her song. I thought that was Miley Cyrus.
Oh, that's Taylor.
Taylor does have some hits, like, but Beyonce is always gonna be my girl. But Taylor, she do have some. She be out.
Dude, let's do a versus battle. Taylor versus Beyonce. How about that?
Well, we can't even do that because Beyonce gonna crush. Beyonce really is.
She's always starting something.
That's so violence.
Like they're like low key cool though. Like they be supporting each other though. Taylor and Beyonce do be supporting each other. I just think that it's the media that puts it in a frenzy.
Well, I would say based on recent activities, that support has went down the drain.
You think after that,
got a little teeth.
Was like,
yeah, absolutely. It's the reason I told y'all what I saw at the Grammys. There's a reason Jay went up there and said what he said. He didn't just say that because of what happened.
It was directed towards Taylor or the people who put Taylor in that position, because Taylor she can't make her own self win, can she? Or I don't know.
You can pay if you got the money to pay. Yeah, of course you can do that. But I think it was also directed to her and the Academy, to be honest with you. Because he mentioned, he was like, some of y'all don't even deserve to be in categories.
Talk about it, Jay.
You feel me? He
Yeah.
wasn't lying.
But who was Jay? Was Jay talking about she shouldn't have been in the category? Taylor specifically? I'm asking because I want to learn too.
I feel like he was talking about Taylor Swift and some other people that wasn't needing to be in those categories that they were in.
Because I thought the one when he said specifically, some people don't need to be in this category. I didn't think he was aiming that shot at Taylor. I thought he was aiming the other shot. He said like 3 things. Then he was like, I tell the truth when I get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But
Elsely.
yeah, I guess the reason why I felt like, maybe she shouldn't have won because Beyonce had a fire album. There's no way Renaissance did not there's just no way. Literally when Beyonce came to LA, and it literally just gave me chills, she painted the whole entire city silver. Every storefront had nothing but silver clothing out for Renaissance. Like it was the way, like she should have definitely did that. But I feel like Taylor did have a good album. The way her tour went, it made sense for her to be in the category. Should she have won? No. I don't even know a song from her album. Like I couldn't tell you what it is, but I just feel like it doesn't make any sense. And then for her to also announce that she was releasing another album, people were just like, well, shit, we know who the next album of the year is about to go to.
Yeah. She knew exactly. And again, perfect PR company. Whoever she got for PR, when I can afford them, I'm definitely going to hire them because
you better talk. PR go a long way. You hear me?
Yeah, they're doing.
Our team is yeah. I wonder if they set her up with Travis Kelce, or was it just like they just started dating?
Say that one more time.
I wonder if the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift thing was like a setup, or did they just like start dating? Like, was it a PR thing and then it kind of just,
So to be honest with you, I'm not really sure about that because you never know, like, if people really like people for real in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You never know that. But at the end of the day, what I didn't like is, going back to what we talked about at the beginning, that shooting at the parade, they basically painted Travis as, oh, he took pictures with the police officer after the shooting. Oh, he was at the restaurant with the other players after the shooting. Oh, Taylor Swift gave $100,000 to the family. Okay, but she's also
now Travis gave $100,000 too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, before that even happened, they painted him in a bad light, but then you painted her in a good light, but they're still together. And
I see.
We're together at that time. You understand? So it's like the whole time during Super Bowl, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, y'all made them as a unit, but in this particular situation, because it's like a sad situation, y'all want to make it seem like put her in a good light still, and then make him look like, oh, he's a jackass for,
still taking pictures.
Take pictures. Like if he didn't take a picture, then you would have been like, oh, well, Travis Kelce didn't take a picture with the black officers. Or if, they skipped the dinner or whatever, it would have been something, right? So I just feel like when it came to PR on that, now you want to divide and conquer when it comes to something that's more, not so lovey-dovey and not so, like a fairy tale fantasy when it comes to relationship, if that makes sense.
This media stuff be too much. They be painting a bunch of narratives and I can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, hey, y'all, this was our Culture Minute. We definitely dive deep into some things. Yes, we'll be back next week, though. I am Gentel.
I am Sarina Renee, the one-stop shop.
I'm your boy, King Jaquel Martin.
And that's Culture Minute.